If the water at home tastes fine but not crisp, wait till hearing which glass pitcher actually fixes flavor, chlorine smell, and those tiny floaties Numan talks about. Today's lineup is a no-nonsense top 5 of glass water filter pitchers, focusing on taste clarity, filter speed, certification claims, replacement cost, build quality, and daily usability, with shortfalls called out where they matter. There's an open loop here. One pitcher on this list quietly nails mineral balance and speed without the plastic aftertaste. Stick around. 5. LifeStraw Home Water Pitcher. LifeStraw's glass pitcher lands at number 5 because it does a couple of important things really well. Namely, targeting microplastics and common tap nasties, while introducing some day-to-day friction that adds up over a few weeks of use. The taste shift is immediate. Chlorine edge drops and the aftersmell softens, which makes iced coffee and tea taste cleaner without going flat. A nice surprise after the first few refills. The glass carafe feels premium on the counter. And yes, it's reassuring to pour from actual glass when the point of filtering is fewer plastics touching water in the first place. Now, the but. Filtration speed can be, well, patient. Great when unhurried, slightly annoying when refilling during dinner or after workouts because the top reservoir doesn't drain as fast as the thirst does. Replacement filters also aren't the cheapest in the category, and over 6 months, the total cost creeps higher than expected if a household goes through 2 to 3 full pitchers a day. Another little quirk, the lid fit and pour angle can lead to a tiny dribble if the reservoir isn't fully drained before pouring, which isn't tragic, just mildly irksome when wiping the counter every third pour. To the positives. LifeStraw's focus on particulate reduction is more than marketing, and the cleaner look in a glass of water, less haze, fewer specks, shows up under bright light, which is satisfying in a way that's hard to unsee once noticed. 4. GLACIER Fresh's Purela 10-Cup Pure Glass Water Pitcher. GLACIER Fresh's Purela is the practical pick that tries to marry a big 10-cup capacity with a glass build and a fast, carbon-forward filter. And it mostly succeeds if the priority is volume and simplicity over finesse. First, the good news. The thing holds a lot, and the filter bed is tuned to take the edge off chlorine and everyday tap funk fast enough to keep pace with a family breakfast rush, which is a win for anyone refilling constantly. The glass shell looks clean on a table and doesn't scream appliance, and the handle balance makes one-hand pours pretty controlled when the pitcher's full. Here's what matters, though. In back-to-back tastings with mineral water as a sanity check, the Purela pulls out the harshness but can leave water a touch thin, especially if the local tap is already soft, so tea fans might notice a slightly less rounded body. Also, the lid seal isn't foolproof. If the upper reservoir still has an inch of water and the pitcher is tilted eagerly, a quick splash can leak from the fill flap. Avoidable, but it happens when distracted. Replacement filters are fairly priced, but consistency between cartridges varies a bit on first use. Pre-soaking and discarding the first fill is not optional if wanting to avoid initial carbon dust. Speed and capacity put this at number 4, with the caveat that it's more of a get-it-done pitcher than a connoisseur's pick for mouthfeel and nuance in coffee or cold brew. Number 3. Hydro's Glass Water Filter Pitcher. Hydro steps in as the fast filter that doesn't feel like a chore, and the glass carafe format here is honestly a joy to handle. Slim, easy to slide into a fridge door, and quick enough that refilling doesn't derail a cooking flow mid-meal. The taste profile is where Hydro's gets fun. It smooths chlorine effectively without sanding off all the mineral character, so filtered water doesn't taste blank, it tastes like, well, better tap. Great for brewing and for folks who hate lifeless water. The filter itself primes quickly, and the first-use carbon dust rinse is minimal after a short soak, which cuts down the onboarding dance on day 1. Filter life is respectable for a smaller media bed, though heavy users who power through multiple pitchers a day will want to set a reminder a little earlier than the marketing window if noticing flow taper or taste drift. It's subtle, but throughput tells the story. Build quality on the glass and handle junction feels sturdy, and the pour spout gives a tight stream without catching air, so it's easy to fill skinny bottles without splaying water everywhere. One more thing. Because this one is quick, it's the sneaky winner for households that hate waiting and prefer to drink more because the friction is basically gone. Hydro's lands at 3 because it balances speed, flavor, and fridge fit better than most. Yet the media depth can't match the deeper multi-stage filters above for heavy metal claims or aggressive TDS reduction.
2. Invigorated Water Alkaline Glass Water Filter Pitcher. This one shifts gears. Invigorated Water's glass pitcher is built around remineralization and a gentle pH bump, and that shows up instantly in taste. Smoother mouthfeel, a slightly sweeter finish, and coffee that blooms with a bit more confidence, especially with medium roasts. The mineral cartridge adds calcium and magnesium back in measured amounts, so the result isn't chalky. Instead, it feels full, which makes plain water genuinely more craveable through the afternoon. If the local tap is on the acidic or flat side, the transformation is the kind that makes friends ask what bottle brand is being poured at dinner, which is always a fun reveal. In terms of glass build niceties, the pitcher feels solid without being brick heavy, and the lid mechanism keeps dust out while allowing a quick pour. Think less fiddly than some flip-flap designs that fight back mid-pour. Filters prime cleanly, and while remineralization media eventually slows flow compared with pure carbon, the trade-off is taste that leans closer to boutique bottled profiles at a fraction of the running cost. For tea and espresso folks, scaling control still matters at the machine level, but this water gives a notably better baseline than standard carbon-only filters. Now, expectations. Alkaline claims can be overhyped in general, but within normal, sensible ranges, the perk here is flavor and mouthfeel, not miracle metrics. And used that way, it's excellent for hydration compliance because the water just tastes more inviting. 1. Puro Glass Water Filter Pitcher. Puro takes the top spot because it threads the needle between filtration depth, taste clarity, filter speed, and day-to-day sanity in a glass body that feels like it belongs on a dining table. No apologies, no plastic squeaks, just clean design that works. First pour after priming is a wow moment. The chlorine nose is gone, the water finishes clean with a gentle mineral presence, and there's no lingering carbon note. Ice cubes freeze clearer, and lemon water tastes bright instead of bitter. The flow rate is confidence-inducing. Refilling before a workout or guests doesn't feel like waiting for paint to dry, and the upper reservoir drains fully enough that surprise mid-pour leaks never showed up during use. Filter longevity is a quiet strength. By the time most pitchers feel sluggish, Puro keeps its pace, and when it does taper, it's gradual, giving ample signal to swap filters before taste drifts. Handy for busy weeks. The gasket and lid alignment hit that sweet spot where one-hand pours are smooth and the spout stream stays tight, so filling narrow bottles or kettles is actually easy, not a water-on-the-counter gamble. Build quality offers a satisfying heft without being a wrist workout, and the handle geometry keeps the center of mass close, which matters more than spec sheets admit when pouring those last 2 cups. The taste profile is the clincher. This hits neutral plus, meaning impurities and chlorine are out, microsediment is tamed, but the water still carries natural character so coffee extractions aren't dulled and cold brew doesn't turn hollow on day 2. Final take. All 5 improve tap taste, but they solve different problems. LifeStraw leans safety and particulate, GLACIER Fresh leans capacity and speed, Hydro nails daily convenience, Invigorated Water adds craveable mineral body, and Puro combines them into the most balanced, low-friction glass pitcher experience in real kitchens. If the goal is a set-and-forget daily upgrade with the fewest quirks, Puro earns the pour. If chugging volume is the mission, Purela's capacity is appealing. If taste romance matters, Invigorated Water's mineral bump is a joy.